Hi, it's Mike at Phase 1 DJ Store. Got a new product I'd like to show you today. Brand new mixer from Numark. Rather interesting product, this one. What we're going to do in this video is we're going to give you a nice close-up to the item so you can see all the connections on the back, what's going on the front as well. Also, we're going to plug it in and we're going to let you have a go. Well, not let you have a go, I'm going to have a go and you're going to watch me having a go or something like that. Anyway, a few little notes on this mixer. The big trick, Ipod Dock. So you can plug an iPod in, you can plug an iPhone in, you can play back from the iPod, and also you can record. So you could record your mix to your iPod. We're going to show you this working on my iPhone. We're going to plug my iPhone in and we're going to record whatever we do when we do the rest of the demo. It's a 4-channel mixer and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 line inputs. It's got an input for the iPod. It's got 1, 2 phono inputs, so if you still want to use your decks, do a bit of old school, not a problem. You can connect your vinyl decks up to this. It's got effects on it, right, which we can assign to any of the channels, including the iPod. And the effects, we've got a filter, a flanger, a phaser, a roll, a reverse roll, transform, auto pan, delay, reverse delay, and echo. Now these are all assignable to wherever you need to be using them on the mixer. So you can assign to channel 1, 2, 3, you can put them onto the crossfade, you can also put them onto the iPod as well. So if you had some tracks that you're playing from your iPod or your iPhone, you can select the effects you want to use via the selectable switch here. Right, we've got a wet and dry, so we can change the parameters of the actual effect. And we've got this, I can never know what to call this because it's on everything, but I never know. Somebody will tell me. Somebody put the bottom of this. What is this bit on here? I know what it does to the effect. It's on every beat, or on every half beat, or every second beat, or every fourth beat. So we can change how the effect is going to work. What do you call that? What's that called? I don't know. Anyway, also we've got BPM counters as well. We've got some little flashing lights that will flash to the beat. There's a lot of little aids on here for anybody that's maybe a beginner at mixing, that's not used to mixing, that wants something, that any little help you can get, for like beat counters. There's a beat offset flashing button, there's a tempo difference. When I plug this machine in, you'll see what I mean. It really is feature packed, this item. It's got a lot going on. In fact, I think the only way to show you is to turn it on, and we'll have a little bit of a play about. As usual, our videos, not rehearsed. We're just going to plug it in and have a go. We don't work off a script, don't work off an auto cue. We get it out of the box, we have a look at it, I babble on a little bit, and we decide whether we like it. So far, getting it out of the box, I like it. Hi, so here we are back with the Numark im9 mixer. What I'm going to do is we're just going to have a play around with some of the effects and stuff like that. I'm going to show you the iPod feature as well. I've got my iPhone plugged into there. I've put it into flight mode, so it's not going to ring and it's not going to make all them nasty buzzes and stuff like that. But I will say it seems to be compatible this with most of the iPod series, you know, iPod Touch, iPod Nano. In this video, just underneath, in the description, we're going to put a link that will go take you to the product on our website, where it's available to buy, of course, and all the description and the list of compatibility for different iPods will be there as well. So anyway, we can play back from the iPod. Now I've got my iPhone locked, so I'll just have to open it there. Right, we've got it there. So we can play back from the iPod, not a problem at all. We've got our effects section here, right? And what we can do is we can assign to channel 4, because channel 4 is where the iPod is. So I can assign this to channel 4, and now we can actually use some of the effects from the music playing. So we've got our effects button here. So pressing the button, that turns the effect on. That's no effect. So that's your wet and dry. You can cue your effects as well. Like I say, this mixer seems to have a lot of different features that just seems to be very value packed. Nicely well built. All the sliders are nice and smooth and not loose. The EQ pots, we've got bass, middle and treble, and they all feel nice as well. We've got level indicators up here, so we can see when we're going into the red. We've got our master level indicators here. So we've got a lot going on. We've got a booth out as well, which I think is just totally essential for whenever you're going to play out in a live environment. I can't live without a booth monitor. So we've got our booth out here as well. Right, we've got our beat counters at the bottom. Now we can assign the beat counters, so I can put that across to number 4, channel 4, and it's giving us a reading there of 125. Let's have a check out of some of the different effects that we've got. So that's the flanger. We've got a phaser. Now, so far I've got to say I have been very impressed with the sound quality on this. I know we can never get that over on a video, but the effects sound really, really good. Remember earlier in the video as well, I never know what to call this section. This is all to do with the effects. Someone's going to tell me what this section on a mixer or on any other mixer is called. I never know what to call it, but it's going to change the effects. So if we put that up there, at the minute we can take that down to 1 beat. We'll take that down to a half beat. Right down to a 16th of a beat. That sounds a little bit aggressive, that. Basically changing the parameters of the effect, but come on, tell me what that's called. Someone's going to tell me. Right, we've got our beat counter here as well, which I can assign that across to B. We can go B or A, so if I've actually got something playing, I do have actually something queued up over here ready to go from a CD player that you can't see at the minute. But if I press that, you can see this beat counter now is in section B, which is over here. If I press that, it takes it across to this one, which is at 132, which is our other track, which we'll play in a second. Taking the effect off there, going through some of the effects still. Turn that off. We've got a roll. See if we can get the roll going up on every second beat. Change the parameters of that roll. reverse roll as well. works really, really well. You'll see a lot of these features and a lot of more high-end stuff. Again, remember, this is all coming from the iPod. Transform. We've got an auto pan, which will pan from one speaker to the other. We've got a delay. We've also got a reverse delay. And we've got an echo as well. Now again, we've just been whacking them effects on. If used in the right content and used properly, I think you can get some really cool sounds out of this machine. But again, for these purposes, we just like to put them on and have a press and have a play. Right, so what we've got that playing there from the iPod. I have got another track playing over here. It's just on a CD player. It's out of shop, but there it is. We can use all the effects on there as well. Now, I don't know whether you can see this on the film. Let's just see if we can zoom this in a little bit. When you get down to this section here, you can see these flashing lights. There's a little flashing light there. There's a little flashing light there. Now they're to help anybody that's maybe, you know, just learning to mix and stuff like that. Obviously when them lights flash together, you're generally in time. Now obviously at the minute they're not flashing together, but if you were to get that mixed up together, I mean this is at 125 beats a minute off the iPod, and over here we're at 132, so we're never going to get them flashing together. But like I say, I just want to show you some of the features that this has got. Of like aids that will help you in the mix. We've also got the sync lock, and we've got the offset and the tempo difference buttons. Now reading the instructions, I've never used anything like this before, but reading the instructions, it tells me when I get this tempo difference LED in the middle, which is green, to light up, and I get the beat offset LED in the middle, which is green, to light up, and I can bring them both together, I'm mixed, I'm in. And again, this will also just give you confidence that if you're mixing in your headphones and you're like, yeah, that sounds great, that sounds good, I'm happy, but I tell you what, I'll just have a look down to see what the information's telling me here, and then if you've got the green lights all locked up together, the BPM's locked together, these are flashing together, you're going to be like, yeah, that's 100%. So these are just little things to help you while you're mixing. Right? Of course, over here we've got our headphone section. We can assign here via the cue buttons where we want to listen to, where we want to monitor to. We can listen to the mix going out. We can listen just to the cue, so we can listen to a blend of that, so we can mix in our headphones as well. I always like that. Got our microphone up the top here, which has a switch there, that's on, and then we've got a talk over bit there. We've got bass and treble. Bass and treble on the microphone, we've got an XLR input there. There's another mic input on channel 4, which is in the back of the unit. Right. But I think one of the really cool features is, we've seen a lot of these features on other mixers, but what Numark have brought to the table with this one is the fact that it's got the Ipod Dock in there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have a go at doing a record. Back in a minute. Back with the Numark im9. One last feature I want to show on this item is the fact that you could record back to your iPod or your iPhone. I've got my iPhone plugged into here, and then what I've actually opened, the application, is the voice recorder. And what happens is when you plug it into the dock there, it turns the external microphone off on the voice recorder, so the sound comes in internally. So it's not picking up now off my voice, but when I've got a track playing, you'll see this little VU meter here. Hopefully, let's try and zoom in. Forgive my camera work here. I'll just zoom in to the iPod. Right. So you can see that moving there. We know that's actually recording this particular track to the iPhone. Now, obviously, the iPod's got a different way of recording, but you can record to iPods as well because they have a record feature. Any of the iPods or iPhones that have got a record feature, you'll be able to record. Very, very simple to do. It's just very, very easy. If I want to press record now, that item's actually recording. While it's recording, when it's finished, it'll just save to a file to my iPod, and when I go back to my computer at home, we'll sync that up into my iTunes, and I'll be able to bring that across. So that's just one of the other features that you can record your mixes that you're doing to the iPod or the iPhone. In this case, I'm using an iPhone. Okay guys, just wanted to show you that. So there you go. In closing, that is the numark im9 mixer, 4-channel mixer, full of effects, Ipod Dock, which you can record to and play from, beat counters, feature packed. Just think it's a really, really good item for the money. It's punching well above its weight. For more details, don't forget to click the link in the description. It'll take you through to our website. That's all I can say. It's a cracking little item. It's Mike at Phase 1. Cheers.